Let me see if everything works. Mic check, mic check. Let's give it one more time. See if I can get some sound to work. All right. Yay. Okay. All right. So let me get to work. Sorry. You can hear me now. I'm sorry. It's really sad that they want to lock up young men that are supposed to be involved in some gang affiliation, really just being involved with their neighborhood gang or whatever, and make it into a huge racketeering thing when there is legit racketeering going on that is going on right under our noses every day. It is sanctioned by the courts, sanctioned by the government. Everybody looks the other way. People are getting their houses taken and they have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. No idea the interstate fraud, the injustice, it's crazy. If I had not went out and claimed our Accomack land, I wouldn't have learned how corrupt and how wicked and how greedy these people really are. I wouldn't have known. Because they try to say that, oh, it's in the past. Why are you trying to get, these people will steal, rob, cheat by any means necessary. It is unbelievable. And I'm upset at myself because what they do is so blatant that all you need to do is read. All you need to do is look. Look at the paperwork they give you. Look at the stuff that they write down. And then see if it really makes sense. Look them up. Look at how they're associated. Who started their corporation? Who are their partners? Who are they affiliated with? The corruption is amazing. It is outlandish. That they would falsify deeds in a heartbeat. And then magistrate judges, clerks, they all ignore these false documents. I mean, I'm ashamed of myself because I didn't really look at it thoroughly. I mean, this is the thing. We kind of assume that, oh, it's a law firm. They wouldn't, it must be a legit security deed. It's a whole real estate, properties business. They must have a legit. I cannot even tell you how sloppy, how sloppy, how blatantly corrupt, how blatantly fraud the documents are. I can't even tell you. They don't even try to hide what they're falsifying. Like, they don't even hide it. They don't conceal anything. They just blatantly create these things and they ride on the coattail of our trust. They ride on our trust. We trust that, oh, they wouldn't provide a fake security deed. Why would they make an assigned deed that's fake? Because they didn't have a right to even charge you for your property every month. They had no assigned status to assign these status to your property. That's why. They don't have a right to anything that has to do with your property. But what you don't know is because we trust. And then they take your ownership in the property and use your name to take your property. Now, I know the Eastern Shore is mad because the Ackermans quit claiming and taking back land. Why don't we gonna take her house? Take her. I know they're angry. I know that my being arrested is retaliation. I know that them trying to come after my home in Georgia is retaliation. I know it's retaliation. And it's a desperate retaliation, a blind fury retaliation. Because when you go for somebody's house and you got to falsify a deed to that degree, to that level of like, are you friggin' on drugs that you made that shit up? And then you think, well, what's going on with the judges? How do you not even look at this stuff? And then you're going to tell people to get out of their houses. Really? Where's the corruption in? Where does that corruption end? The judges don't even look at anything, or they look the other way. Are they looking? Where are they looking at? They're not looking at justice. They're not looking at the truth. They're not looking at the documents that are being placed into their hands. They are just trusting these entities, and these entities are thugs. They're criminals. They're LLC criminals. Because you have an LLC, you're not a criminal. They are LLC criminals. And it's very, very dangerous. And I feel like we need to let everyone know who has dealings with these companies that they need to get on their P's and Q's and get their paperwork together. Because if they've lost anything because of these companies, they need to fight. Because odds are they stole from you. They had no right. Because these companies are thoroughly corrupt. And you need to research any dealings you've had with them. And I would be concerned with having any property that these companies have anything to do with. I would really be concerned. Because, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about how bad. I want to show you the paperwork, how bad this falsification is, how blatant it is, how I didn't notice it, but also it requires that you be suspicious, question, fact check, who's connected to who, because if you don't look for it, if you don't assume that they are doing something devious, I guess you will just let it go and assume that what they're doing is honest. But today, probably in no date or time could we ever assume that what they're doing is honest, because they're not. They didn't come here for that. They're not operating that. They came here to prey on the American Indians, and predatory is what they are. And their credo is by any means necessary, and they don't give a doggone. And now they're here trying to regulate stuff, and a daggone government that has no right to be a government. It's just a daggone corporation gone wild. And we're sitting up there pledging allegiance to something that is a corporation. Are you kidding me? The corporation's hiring people, all kinds of damn weird ass immigrants, and yet they're trying to get rid of other immigrants. So who be the immigrant? They're all immigrants. Not one is better than the other. I say they all need to go. What is that about? How do you want to deport some and you're not deporting your own wife or kids or friend, or all these people that you're hiring aren't really of the same status or less? Because at least the people that are across the border, this used to be part of their territory. But these people come from South Africa, coming from all over the place. Hindustan, and you're trying to run things over here, let me go to Hindustan and see if I could be a daggone FBI, head of FBI or a VP. Can I go to Hindustan and get that kind of status? No. So why is it happening here? We need to understand that the corruption that is happening here is big. We need to understand that our land, we have the right to declare and to take our land back, but also any one of us that is having our property that we've built or paid for or whatever, our property, we need to protect it and get it back. These corporations, they are criminal. They are criminal, and you need to protect yourself. If you know of anyone who's had any dealings with these corporations, and there are more, and they go by many names because they're so corrupt, they have to keep changing their name. You got to keep changing your name when you got a bad name. And these companies have really a bad rep. They have a lot of lawsuits, but not enough. Not enough. That's right. We can't have people that are not our people running our territory. They don't care. They're just here to prey. They're predators. You got to understand, they have their own agenda, and it's to prey on us and prey on what's ours. And that needs to stop. Time is up on that. Time is up. But I'm really excited. I'm kind of tired, so I'm not really kind of giving that energy, but I am thrilled. I am very thrilled because what they have done to themselves, the level of corruption that they have sunk to. I don't even can't say sunk to, because I can actually assume that they always do this kind of corrupt stuff. So the type of corruption that they do on a regular, daily, hourly basis, I exposed it in the courthouse on yesterday. They should be waking up and finding themselves that they need to do some explaining. Also, DeKalb County, Georgia courthouse needs to do some massive investigating. They need to do it pronto, because the courts are just letting people have houses be removed by corporations that use their affiliates to create deeds with their affiliate title companies. They're just making up deeds out of thin air so that they can foreclose on folks' houses. They are the worst corruption I can't even conceive of how corrupt they are. But a lot of people are like at a loss, and they should never have been at a loss. They just were under the belief that these companies are up and up, and they wouldn't take anything that they didn't have the right to legally take. But they do it every day, every hour. They do it constantly. So what are we going to do? So now what we have to do is we have to start being more alert. We have to start looking, thinking, and actually investigating everything. And I mean everything. And reading is really fundamental, because I read it the first time I read it, and I was like, why did they actually formulate a deed in Pennsylvania for my Georgia house? I mentioned that. I did bring that to the attention of the judge. However, it wasn't even in a courthouse. When I really looked at it, when I was calm and I sat down, because a lot of times you're in a frenzy, or you're feeling like you're pressed, and so you rush. But I was relaxed, and I looked at it, and I said, so this company, I know that is their affiliate company. Like, that's part of them. That's another name that they use. Computer Share. They use that name. SLS uses the name Computer Share. So I'm like, and then I read, and I'm like, Lisa Cypress, deed created on 1999. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I in this? if they own the property, why are they putting my name in their deed? Why do they need me in there? Why do they need to mention my deed created back in 99? They had no right to anything. And they created they created a deed to take my house based on me. Like they use my title. They use my title. And all of this is happening because on the Eastern Shore, we are Accomack land, but we're not basing it on the title. Those people's names have nothing. The people's names have nothing to do with our land, because our land is ours because of the patents that we own. So unlike these evil real estate moguls that actually did create this crime, these charges against me, unlike the Bay Creek moguls, Severin, Baldwin, and others who did go to the courts and say, lock her up. Unlike this syndicate of real estate mobsters who falsify things and have to use my title to take what's mine, or to try to take what's mine, the Accomacs have the supreme title, the only true title. We don't need to, it's not an encumbrance when you have the highest title. They are the encumbrance. You cannot be an encumbrance on your own land. You can't be malicious when it's your own property. All these charges are fictitious. And it's harassment, it's terrorism, and it's kidnapping under the color of law. So, they have done what is really RICO, an interstate crime. These people on the Eastern Shore, Bay Creek Preserve Communities, Greater Good Corporation, all connected with my property also in Georgia. CompuShare SLS, also part of that Greater Good Corporation. Even the so-called purchaser, Catamount, is the partner of the preserved communities, the former, or I think he's the present, because I contacted him in jail and he had nothing to say. So I think he's still partners of preserved communities, even though he's in jail for tax fraud. Jack Fisher is the founder of Catamount. And Catamount, they're the ones responsible for making up that deliciously fraudulent deed. The only person that signed the deed was a sister in Pennsylvania that works for the servicing agency. It's not a real deed. It is so bad. It is so bad you don't even have to understand anything and you can see that it's a fraud. So it boggles my mind that it goes through the courts and they don't even raise an eyebrow or do anything to stop any of this. It's a pass-through state, and they come in here and they grind through all those people that lost their homes with the whole, like, everything that's happened for I don't know how long. Y'all don't understand the level of theft and fraud that's going on, and you might need to review your paperwork. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the corruption is so intense. It's so real. It's so major. These are real racketeers. They are real estate racketeers. Real estate racketeers. That's who had me arrested. Real estate racketeers have attacked me in Georgia and my sister in Virginia. They are real estate racketeers. They have their hands in all the courthouses. They have people that work for them inside the courthouses in Georgia and in Virginia. They have people that work for that. They have all these different entities and identities that they use interchangeably to get things done. Some purchase, some sell, some refund, some do titles. They got all of it. It is all a big conglomerate of bandits. They are thugs. But their time is up. They need exposure. It's time to get exposed to the light. I mean, that's what it is. We're worrying about P. Diddy and bullcrap, and you got these people that are being unhoused. We got the largest number of daggone homeless I've ever seen in my life. And some of these people, most of these people are on the streets because of pure corruption, lies, and greed. Because of criminals. Because of criminal behavior. And it's going to stop. Yeah. How dare you attack somebody for claiming what, as an American Indian, we have a right to reclaim our land? We have the supreme title. You have no title. Yet you're going to be like, oh, take her house. Take her house. Yeah, okay. And you use the same methods you use every day. Fraud, more fraud, lies, corruption, connections in the courts. And all you people that work in the courthouse that's connected to this, all you people that let this stuff pass through, whether you be clerks or judges or whatever you are, magistrate judges that just swiftly move people to be evicted out of their houses based upon fraudulent paperwork. Yeah, you don't have any liability, right? You don't look at anything. That's what you do? You just sit there with a robe on and watch people become unhoused? These people are sick. They're sick, man. But this kind of corruption, yeah, this is what has to stop. A lot of things have to stop. A lot of these people coming over here trying to act like they're regulating on our territory. We don't need them regulating. We've had our own country all this time. We just lost our own country in the last 60 years. But this whole separate life that we had as a Negro Indians, our separate schools, our separate stores, our separate, banks, we had all of that. Separate hospitals. We had our own country forever. We allowed these people to cuddle up next to us, and then we made the mistake of thinking we needed to be around them. We let our own people deceive us into thinking we need to be where they are. We don't need that. I'm not saying we don't like. We love everybody because that's the way we are. I'm not saying we don't like having people among us, because we actually like a lot of people. That's our problem. We like everyone so much. And we trust people. That's another problem, right? Yeah. We can't trust them. We can't, not like that. Not like anything. We can't trust any of these people that come to prey on us at all. No, we can't. We can't afford to do that anymore. That's the way we used to be. We can't be that anymore. We got to question everything. We got to investigate everything. Yeah. But we got to take back what's ours. And nobody has the right to stop us. And no one has the right to terrorize us when we do. Nobody has a right to kidnap us and jail us for getting back what is rightfully ours. And no one has a right to attack us and attack our private, any other property that we have. Because everything that we're owed, we're getting back. We're getting it back. You cannot stop the fact that all this theft must be reversed. It must be reversed. It must be. You've done too much. And you can't actually say, oh, that's in the past. No, because look what you're doing right this minute. You're doing the same thing. You continuously do the same thing. So you can't act like It's in the past. If it's in the past, then when the Akamai quit claim their land, you'll be like, oh yeah, you've been owed this a long time. Go and get it. Go and get it. You've been owed this a long time. We were wondering when y'all were going to figure this out and get your land back. Especially since everything that was quit claim wasn't occupied. It was, investment property, rental property. So you could have acted right. But you got to be greedy. And it's these greedy corporate real estate thugs that are behind all of this. They run the courts. We need this investigated. We need to you want to make an outcry? Don't be outcrying about some DEI benefits. That is stupid. That's ignorant. Okay? We don't benefit off of no daggone diversity and inclusion. You know who gets that? 72% goes to Caucasian women. Only 3%, I'll say only 3% goes to us, but it's probably 0.3% we benefit. We don't benefit at all from any diversity and inclusion. So who cares about that? Why are you allowing these prosperity pastors to tell you what you need to be upset about? You don't need to be upset about something that doesn't even affect us. What affects us is that they take our land, they took our land, and they are corrupt in what they do to us. And we want it to stop. We want all these entities out of our courthouses. We want to run our courts again. We want all these police out of our faces. We want all these taxes taken away. We are the first contact, First Nation, Indians not taxed. We have a right to get our land back, and we're going to get our land, our resources, and our wealth back. You did steal, United States. Your citizens do steal. Your wicked corporations do steal. You are a wicked corporation, and your wicked corporations steal as well. And these racketeering real estate companies, they're going down. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Anna.